I am so glad that you opened my message because I needed you. Yes, I needed you. It might be hard to believe, but it's the truth. You, with your sensitive heart and the struggles that only a few understand, were able to hear my voice amidst the noise of this world. Many passed by and ignored, but you didn't. You heard me. That's why I'm telling you today, with all the love that has no limits or conditions, you are the one I chose. It wasn't a random thing that you got this far. It wasn't by accident that you stop here now. It was my hand, my spirit, my love that brought you here because I want to speak with you. I need to speak with you. It's not because I'm weak, but because in my perfect plan, I've given you a special purpose. There's something I want to show you, something that will change the way you see yourself. So please pay close attention. Don't ignore it. This isn't just any message. It's my heart speaking to you directly. I needed you because I've seen everything you've gone through in secret. I've been there. When no one else was around, I saw you lying down with a tired heart, holding thoughts you couldn't share with anyone. I saw you try to stay strong for others, even when you were falling apart inside. I saw how you kept moving forward on the outside, even when you were struggling on the inside. Don't think your tears went unnoticed. Every tear mattered. Every deep breath you took was heard. Every night without sleep was remembered by me. For days, weeks, and even years, I watched your battles. I saw how you fought in silence, carried guilt that wasn't yours, endured hurtful words, and accepted rejections that cut deep. Yet you didn't turn away. You didn't seek empty distractions. In the middle of your confusion, in the midst of all your doubts, you kept searching, even for a small sign, a word, or an answer. I saw you walk through times of uncertainty, when everything felt pointless. You moved forward with a heart full of questions. Why me? How much longer will this last? Is there anyone who truly sees me, truly understands me? Even though those questions filled your mind, you kept going. You may not realize it, but that quiet persistence was a form of worship to me. It was true faith. The kind of faith that doesn't need to see to believe. The kind of faith that, even when weak, refuses to die. I also saw you stop, exhausted, with no strength left, wondering if everything you were doing even mattered. You questioned whether there was a purpose behind your struggles, if anyone in heaven noticed your pain. And I was there. Always. Every time you felt unseen, I was there watching you with love, compassion, and care. Sometimes I allowed the silence, not to hurt you but to build you up. In that silence, you were learning to rely only on me, to understand that I am enough when everything else falls apart. I needed you because your story doesn't end in pain. It's not just about suffering. Inside your story is a seed of a greater purpose. There is meaning behind your tears. There's a plan hiding in the middle of your journey. And I'm here to tell you that it hasn't been pointless. No moment has been wasted. No hurt will go to waste. Every experience you've had will be used to fulfill the destiny I've planned for you. And that destiny is not small or ordinary, because neither are you. There is a light inside you, a light that you've just started to see. That light is not fragile, even though you may feel weak sometimes. It is a reflection of my presence within you, proof that I'm working, even when you can't see it. Now is the time for you to embrace it, without fear, without holding back. Do not allow sadness to put out the flame I've started within you. Do not let doubt take away the promises I've made to you. The light I've placed inside you is strong. It's not just for you, it's meant to reach others as well. Many people will be touched by what you're going through, but first, you need to believe that there is meaning in your life. You are not a mistake. You are not forgotten. You are a part of my eternal plan. That's why I speak to you like this, with urgency, because I don't want you to keep questioning your worth. Stay with me now. Don't ignore these words. This isn't just any message. This is your chance, and it may not come again in the same way. Don't close your heart. Let me keep speaking to you, because what comes next will be a clear message meant just for you. My child, yes, you, the one hearing these words with a heart that trembles and eyes that may be wet from tears you don't always understand. I want you to know that I am watching you, not from afar or without care, but with tenderness, with full attention, and with a love that never sleeps. Every tear you cry, I hold it in my hands. Each one is precious to me. There is no pain you feel that I don't notice. There is no sigh of your soul that doesn't reach my throne. I know your silence. I know your sleepless nights. I know how your heart cries out when you feel no one is listening. You've known loneliness, that heavy feeling when it seems like everyone is gone, when your voice gets lost in the noise of the world. But let me tell you something true and lasting. I've been with you every second, every moment. I am here now, listening. I am answering with words that go deeper than any human voice. The world may have turned away from you. People may have failed you. You may have felt invisible. But I have never turned away, and I never will, because you are mine. You are my child. Not because of what you do, not because of your achievements, not because you are perfect, but because I made you with my own hands. I created you with a purpose far greater than you can understand. When I gave you life, it wasn't by chance. I did it with intention, with vision, with love. Your life is not an accident. Every single day you live has meaning. Every step you've taken, even the ones you thought were mistakes, I've used to lead you back to me. I've seen the moments when you doubted yourself, when your thoughts turned against you, when you questioned if you were enough, or if what you were doing even mattered. I heard your quiet prayers when you wondered, Lord, is this worth it? And now, I answer you with all the authority of heaven. Yes, it is worth it. You are worth it. You can't even imagine how many times you've brought me joy just by continuing when you wanted to give up. You don't realize the impact of your kindness, your acts of love, your encouraging words. Every kind word you've spoken, every time you forgave when it was hard, every hand you extended without expecting anything in return. These are eternal seeds I've planted in the world through you. Even though you don't see the fruit now, even though you think your impact is small, I see it all. I multiply it and use it. You are building something far bigger than you can see. You are building a kingdom of light, and you are not alone. I move through you. In your small acts, I touch hearts. Through your life, I change others. Many will find hope because of you. Many will feel comfort. Many will experience my love. You may not know it, but I have called you my child because you are mine. And not only that, because you are stronger than you realize. The world has tried to break you, but it has not succeeded. Your heart, though scarred, is unshaken. Your spirit, though weary, stands strong. In you, there is divine courage, a heavenly strength that doesn't come from pride but from my spirit inside you. It's a courage that rises even when everything around you is falling apart. A courage that honors me because it never gives up. Even though you have every reason to, I will not give you more than you can handle. Instead, I will give you the strength to endure whatever comes your way. I never promised that there wouldn't be storms, but I did promise that I would be with you through them. That promise still stands. I will carry you through the storms, guide you when you don't know where to turn, and hold you up when your strength is gone. When everything seems dark, I will be your light. Because on the other side of pain, there is beauty. Beauty that only I can create from the ashes. Beauty that will serve as a testimony for many. I need you to understand something deeply. Listen closely and let it sink into your heart. You have been forgiven. It doesn't matter how many times you failed or how many times you stumbled. Every time you turned away, I was patiently waiting for you to come back. I never rejected you. I never stopped loving you. I don't keep track of your mistakes. I keep track of your faith, of every real effort, of every time you tried to come back to me. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking for hearts that are willing, and yours is one of them. That's why I am speaking to you now, because I know you are listening. You are loved. Loved in ways beyond your understanding. Loved not for what you do, but for who you are, simply because you exist. Your very life is a miracle. I dreamed of you before time even began. I chose you for this time, for this place, with this heart. You are here with an eternal purpose, and I will not rest until you see it fulfilled. Even before time existed, you were already in my thoughts. Every part of you, from the most obvious to the deepest, was made with purpose. Nothing about you is a mistake. No part of you, no experience, no emotion is beyond my knowledge. I took delight in creating you. I gave you a heart that can feel deeply, love profoundly, and endure even when you feel weak. Even though you've often doubted your worth, not a single day has passed where I haven't seen the greatness I placed inside you. I know sometimes you feel like you give so much and get so little in return, like you offer peace, understanding, and love, only for it to fade away without leaving a mark. I know there are days when the invisible feels heavier than the visible, when your soul gets worn out, and when the questions seem to outnumber the answers. There are times when your thoughts become burdensome, and hope seems to disappear behind the weight of fatigue and silence. But I want you to remember that nothing, absolutely nothing, you do out of love goes unnoticed. Everything you do echoes throughout eternity. I have been with you in the moments when no one else was. When you closed yourself off from the world, feeling like everything was falling apart, I was there, closer than you could ever imagine. When you tried to be strong for others while hiding your own pain, I held your soul steady with my faithfulness through every sleepless night, every moment when words failed you, when you didn't know how to pray, and your tears became your prayer. I collected them, one by one. Not a single tear of yours has fallen without purpose. Each one is proof that you matter, that you're not alone, and that your life holds eternal significance. You understand what it's like to keep going without any strength, to continue despite pain that can't be explained, pain that settles deep in your chest even when everything else seems calm. You've experienced betrayal, abandonment, and words that hurt more than physical wounds. Yet, through it all, you've continued to love, forgive, and move forward, never seeking revenge and never letting bitterness take root. That decision to keep loving, even when it hurts, is a reflection of my nature within you. Every time you chose good over evil, every moment you acted with compassion instead of harshness, you became a vessel of light. Even when you questioned if your presence makes a difference, the answer has always been yes. Even in the smallest, most invisible actions, in the eyes of the world, there is power. Every kind word, every word of encouragement, every quiet sacrifice is an eternal seed planted for the future. Though you may not see the results right away, though it may seem like nothing is changing, hearts are being touched, lives are being healed, because I am working through you. Your life is being used to spark light in the darkness, to lift those who have lost their strength, to bring comfort to places that once knew only despair. I know there have been many times when you felt worn out, as if the weight of your journey was too much to carry. But inside you, I have placed a strength that is not dependent on your circumstances, a resilience that is not based on what you see or achieve. There is a spirit in you that refuses to give up, that keeps going, that rises up even after being knocked down. It's not pride or self-reliance. It is the fire I put within you. A fire that can't be put out by the winds of pain or the floods of doubt. That fire still burns, even on the days when you think there's nothing left inside. You have not been forgotten. You never were. Even though there were moments when you felt like everything had come to a standstill, when heaven seemed silent, my hand was still working. I was at work in the unseen places. I was shaping your character, strengthening your faith, healing wounds no one could see. Every hardship you've gone through has a purpose far beyond the present. Nothing you've experienced has been in vain. Everything will be made right. There are things you don't yet understand, choices you don't get, paths that seem to close without explanation. But in every one of those detours, in every time you were interrupted, I was preparing you for something greater. I closed doors you wanted to open, not to punish you, but to protect you. I removed people who hurt you, even when your heart longed to keep them close. I allowed certain things to stop, so you would stop, look at me, and find me in the emptiness. Because I am not only present in the victories, but I am also here in the process. This is the moment I want you to stop looking at your past with shame or regret. You are not defined by your falls or mistakes. Every time you stumbled and thought you couldn't go on, I was there, offering my hand. I never pulled away when you failed. I never grew tired of your doubts. I never withdrew my love when you felt unworthy. My faithfulness does not rely on your perfection. It is steady, eternal, and changing, like the mountains. Today, I speak to you not to condemn you, but to remind you of who you are and how much you truly matter. You have been fully forgiven, with no conditions. There's no stain so deep that it hasn't been washed away. There is no darkness so thick that my light cannot reach it. You are not wandering aimlessly. You are in my hands, and in my hands everything has meaning. Even what was broken, what was lost, what seemed to be the end, has redemption in me. I don't leave any work unfinished. You may have felt like you were drifting at times, but you are not. Life, with all its unexpected turns, highs, and lows, has made you believe more than once that everything is out of control. But I want you to know, with all certainty, that every moment of your life has been held in hands that never tremble, hands that never let go, hands that have written your story with care. You may not always understand the chapters you've lived, and that's okay. You weren't made to understand everything, only to trust the one who understands all things. There is a work being built in you, and like everything that holds eternity, it doesn't happen quickly. Your soul is shaped slowly, through the days, when you get up without certainty but with purpose. Through the small choices you make, even when they go unnoticed by others, they are great in my eyes. The decision to love even when you're not understood, to forgive even when no one apologizes, to stand firm when everything around you tells you to back down. These are the building blocks of something eternal that I am creating in you. Many people around you don't see what I see. They judge based on what's visible, immediate, and on the surface. But I see deeper. I know the thoughts you don't share, the struggles you keep silent. I've seen you endure hurtful words in silence. I've witnessed how you move forward without seeking praise or approval, simply because you know there is something inside you pushing you to keep going. That something is my active, constant, living presence within you. There have been times when the world seemed to keep moving forward, and you felt left behind, as if everything was passing you by. There have been times when you felt disconnected, as if you were caught between who you were and who you are still becoming. But that space between the now and the not yet is sacred. It is there that I am working most deeply in you. You are not stuck or standing still, you are being transformed. The movement of my hand isn't always visible on the outside. At times, it may feel like waiting or like nothing is happening, but it is during these moments that I am doing deep, important work. There are things inside you that can only come out through the struggles you face. They are not lessons learned, but virtues that have been formed. The compassion you have developed did not come from reading about it, but from the pain you've endured. The patience you now carry was born out of situations you couldn't control. The wisdom you have started to show is the result of many hard decisions. None of this has been forced upon you, it has all been formed in you. I, the potter, have been shaping your heart with care, with strength, and with purpose. What others may see as weakness, I see as sacred sensitivity. The ability to feel deeply, to notice what others can't see, to stop and help someone in pain, to be disturbed by injustice, is part of the gift I have placed in you. Don't let pain close you off. Don't let the harshness of the world make your heart hard. There is real strength in gentleness, a lasting power in empathy, especially in a world that rushes, that yells, and that often overlooks others. I have raised in you a spirit that listens, that embraces, that lifts others up. You won't always see the results of the seeds you plant, but that doesn't mean they aren't growing. Some things take time because they are growing deep roots. What grows quickly on the surface often dries up quickly, but the eternal things take time and need depth. That's what I am doing in you. I am taking you deep, not to hide you, but to make you stronger. Because what you will carry, what you will experience, and what you will give to others will need a firm foundation. Not everything can carry the weight of the eternal. And yes, I know there have been times when you felt inadequate, when you compared yourself to others and believed you were missing something. But I want you to know that you lack nothing when I am shaping you. You were never meant to copy anyone else. You do not need to meet the expectations of others. Your path is one of a kind. Your story matters because it carries the mark of my hand. What may seem ordinary to others in you is filled with purpose, because it is shaped by the mission I have given you. You not let the noise from the outside drown out the voice I've placed within you. That voice doesn't shout, but it is steady and clear. Even in moments of doubt, it quietly reminds you that there is more. There is something beyond the exhaustion, beyond the rejection, beyond what your eyes can see. That voice can sometimes only be heard in deep silence, so do not ignore it. It is my whisper, always guiding you, urging you to trust and reminding you that even in confusion, there is still a path forward. What I am doing in you has no deadline. It doesn't depend on your age, your achievements, or where you think you stand compared to others. My work in you is constant, without pause, without interruption. Every day, I am perfecting what I started. Even in your darkest moments, I am here. Even when you feel lost, I continue to guide you. Nothing has slipped out of my plan. Even when you've made wrong choices, I've known how to redirect you, making sure you still reach the place I have prepared for you. Everything is restored in my hands. Nothing is ever lost. There are times when the soul becomes quiet, not because there are no words, but because the heart holds so much that it can't express it all. You've experienced that deep silence, the kind that feels like an invisible weight. It's not always obvious to others, but inside, it can feel like an empty space. That feeling of being physically present but emotionally distant, of going through the motions, of smiling when needed, of saying, "I'm fine," when inside, you are at your breaking point. None of that goes unnoticed. You are not measured by your public accomplishments, but by the truth you carry in private. Internal honesty has more value than any outward appearance. The world honors what is seen, what is bright, what is praised. But I pay attention to what happens in the hidden parts of your life, to how you act when no one is watching, to how you respond when you could give up, and to the decisions you make deep in your heart when facing realities others can't even understand. And it is in that quiet, true place where you have been faithful, even when no one applauded, and where I have been closest to you. The battles you fight in silence are seen from above. You do not need anyone's approval for them to have meaning. I know there have been many times when you felt like your efforts went unnoticed, like your struggles were ignored, as if your small wins didn't matter. But those small victories are symbols of strength, growth, and loyalty. They are steps that have moved you closer to the fullness of who you were meant to be. You've lived through days when exhaustion wasn't just physical, but emotional, when doubts about yourself, your path, even your worth, filled your mind. Yet, despite all of that, you kept going, not out of habit, but because deep inside you, there is a strength that endures, not out of pride, but out of belief. You've clung to hope with trembling hands, but you've never let it completely slip away. The hope, though sometimes faint, is enough to keep a flame alive that no storm can put out. Your journey isn't just about reaching a certain point, but about becoming. I'm not leading you from one place to another to simply change your circumstances. I am transforming what's inside of you, because it's not what you face that shapes you, but how you choose to face it. And you have faced it with grace, even when everything around you told you to quit. That quiet, steady choice you've made is already bearing fruit, even if you can't see it yet. I am so glad you opened this message because I needed you. Yes, I needed you. And though that might surprise you, it's the truth. You, with your tender heart and inner struggles that only a few understand, were able to hear my voice in the midst of the noise of this world. Many passed by, many chose not to listen, but you did. You responded. That's why I tell you now, with a love that has no limits, you are the one I've chosen. It wasn't by chance that you've come this far. It's no accident that you are here at this moment. It was my hand, my spirit, my love that led you here because I want to speak to you. I need to speak to you. It's not because I am weak that I say I needed you, but because in my perfect plan, I have placed a special purpose on your life. There is something I want to show you, and that is why I needed you. I want you to understand it, to welcome it, and to receive it with an open heart, because it's a truth that will change how you see yourself. So please pay attention. Don't let distractions take you away. Don't treat this lightly. This message is not just another one, it is my heart speaking directly to you. I needed you because I have seen everything you've experienced in secret. I have been there. When no one else was around, I saw you lying down with a weary soul, holding thoughts you couldn't share with anyone. I saw your efforts to stay strong for others, even when inside you felt broken. I saw how you stood tall on the outside, while your heart trembled on the inside. Don't think your tears were ignored. Every tear was counted. Every sigh was heard. Every sleepless night was marked in my presence. For days, weeks, and even years, I've watched your silent battles. I saw how you fought when no one knew. How you carried guilt that wasn't yours. How you endured hurtful words. How you faced rejections that cut deep into your soul. Yet you didn't walk away. You didn't turn to the world for false comfort. Even in your confusion, even in your doubts, you kept searching, even if it was just for a small sign, a word, a glimpse of hope. I saw you walk through valleys of uncertainty, through those times when everything seemed to lose its meaning. You moved forward with a heart full of questions. Why me? How much longer will this last? Is there anyone who truly sees me, who really understands me? And though those questions filled your mind, you kept going. You may not realize it, but that quiet perseverance was an offering to me. It was real faith, pure faith. The kind of faith that doesn't need to see to continue believing. That faith, even though weak at times, still remains alive. I also saw the moments when you stopped, exhausted, without strength, questioning whether what you were doing had any real meaning, wondering if there was a purpose behind all you were enduring. You asked yourself if anyone noticed your sacrifices, if anyone in heaven truly cared about your pain, and I was there. I have always been there. Every time you felt unseen, I was there, watching over you with tenderness, compassion, and a love that never wavers. At times, I allowed silence not to hurt you, but to help you grow stronger, because in that silence, you were learning to depend completely on me, to understand that I am enough when everything else fails. I needed you because your story doesn't end with pain. It's not just about suffering. Your story carries a seed of eternal purpose. There is meaning in your tears, and a plan woven into the process you're going through. I want you to know that none of it has been wasted. Every moment, every hurt, will serve a purpose. Each experience will be used to fulfill the destiny I have set for you. Listen carefully to my voice, for this is not just any message and not something to take lightly. You will regret it tomorrow if you dismiss my words before hearing them all. I do not say this to fill you with fear, but to warn you with love, just like a father who sees a storm coming while his daughter sleeps peacefully, unaware of the danger ahead. Tomorrow is not just another day. Don't believe that things will always stay the same. Many have told you that something is about to happen, that the rapture is near, that the day of the Lord is coming. While I do not reveal the exact time, because only my Father knows it, I give you signs, warnings, calls, and mercy because I love you and don't want you to be lost in the distractions of the world. Listen with all your heart. I speak to you not in anger or judgment, but from a place of infinite patience, having waited for you day after day. I have seen your struggles, your falls, your secret thoughts, your tears when no one was around. I speak to you not to bring fear, but to set you free. The fear that I bring is not the kind that paralyzes you. It is reverent, holy fear that leads to wisdom, not to despair. If something within you shakes when you hear these words, don't run away. A trembling may be the start of your awakening. You've searched in many places for peace, for purpose, for something to fill the emptiness inside, but nothing has satisfied you. And here I am again, knocking on your door. How many more times will you leave me waiting? How many more times will you silence my voice with distractions, excuses, and the pressures of this world that pull you away from what's eternal? Today I speak to you because there is still time. Today I speak to you because my arms are still open wide for you. Today I speak to you because if you let this moment slip by, if you ignore this message, tomorrow you may look back with regret and ask, why didn't I listen when he called me? This message is not a coincidence. I placed it in front of you myself. Don't believe for a second that you are here by accident. It was not just a random chance. I ordered your steps, guided your path, and opened this moment of opportunity to reach you, because I love you with an eternal love, because I have plans for you, because your soul belongs to me, and I do not want it to be lost. Every word you hear now is like a seed that can grow and bear fruit if you keep it in your heart and allow it to grow through repentance, prayer, humility, and faith. But if you ignore this voice, if you treat it as something insignificant, you risk hardening your heart again, and perhaps tomorrow you won't feel the same desire to return. I want you to understand that the enemy of your soul is active. He wants you distracted, to press pause on this message, to ignore it, to think, "I'll finish it later," but do not skip it. This is crucial for you. You don't know if this is your last warning, your final chance. The world will tell you that everything is fine, that there's no need to worry, that you still have time. But I, the one who searches hearts and knows the times, am telling you to prepare. Wake up from your spiritual sleep, straighten your ways, and return to me while I can still be found. I do not want you to live in fear, but in truth. I do not want you to be filled with anxiety, but with hope. But true hope comes only when you are prepared. You cannot wait with joy if your soul is asleep. That is why I speak to you today with clear words, with urgency, and with love that calls out from the deepest parts of my being, like a father who sees his daughter heading into danger and shouts, not out of anger, but out of love. Don't you see that if I speak to you like this, it's because I care for you? That if I insist, it's because I want to see you free, clothed in light, spotless, and ready for the glorious meeting with your Lord. There is a place prepared for you, an eternity of peace, joy, and communion. But not everyone will enter, only those whose names are written in the book of life, only those who have washed their robes in the blood of the Lamb, and I want you to be there. So listen to me. Do not close this message. Do not think you already know enough. Do not say, "I've heard this before." Every word you hear is new because it is alive. It is my Spirit speaking to you in this moment. Stay, listen until the end, because there is still much more I need to tell you, and every part is important. Do not skip ahead. What comes next is for your soul and your eternity. If you are still here listening, you've made a good choice. I have placed the desire to continue in you because I know your soul needs these words, not as simple human advice, but as bread from heaven. You are not here by accident. I have brought you to this moment. I have prepared this pause in your day to speak directly to your heart. And if you listen to me, if you pay attention with humility, what you will receive won't just be knowledge, but transformation. Now is not the time for half-hearted living. It is not the time for a shallow faith. What is coming upon the world will not be easy. Those who have no roots, no oil, no armor will fall victim to deception. I want you to stand firm, awake, and real, like a lamp burning brightly when the night comes. And now, listen closely. I speak to you clearly. Remove from your life everything that makes you small. You were not created to live weighed down by burdens I never meant for you to carry. Do not let the desires of this world drown out your eternal purpose. Greed, even when it looks like success or comfort, is just another form of slavery. It reflects a constant need for approval, a thirst to be noticed, admired, and celebrated, but that will never satisfy your soul. Look at everything you own. Look at it honestly. Ask yourself, does this serve me or does it control me? Because often it's not the object itself that weighs you down, but the space it takes in your heart. I call you to give. Give what you do not need. Give without fear, without looking for praise. Give because the act of giving purifies your soul. When you give with a clean heart, without seeking recognition or attention, you are sowing in heaven, and that seed will bear eternal fruit. Help those who need what you already have, and when you give, do it in silence. Let your left hand not know what your right hand is doing. You don't need the world to see it. I see it. I reward it. And the joy that comes when you give from love is sweeter than any praise from people. Speak the truth with kindness. Don't hide behind excuses. Don't try to justify what you know is wrong. You have heard my voice before, the quiet conviction inside that told you when you lied, when you avoided the truth, or when you stayed silent because you were afraid of discomfort. But truth spoken in love opens doors. Truth is light, and light, though it may sometimes hurt, heals. When you keep quiet about what should be said out of love, you close paths. But when you speak with grace, even if your voice shakes, even if you don't know how your words will be received, my Spirit will be with you, and it will bear fruit. I also tell you, be a light for those who are suffering. You cannot live only for yourself. You cannot go through life only looking at your own reflection. Look around. There are many who are broken, lonely, and confused. There are people crying tonight, not knowing who to turn to. It could be that neighbor who is always alone, that single mother struggling to carry too much, or the person nearby who hasn't had a hug at the end of the day. Feed the hungry, not just with food, but with kindness. Sit with someone who is crying. Listen without judgment. Extend your hand. Offer comfort to the heart in need. I value small acts of kindness more than grand speeches. Every time you do this, it is not just a human act. It is love in action, and I am love. Do not measure your life by the world's schedule or its rushing clock. What seems urgent to others may not be what is most important to me. The greatest need of someone around you may not be food or shelter, but simply to be seen, to be heard, and to be reminded that they are valuable. Be brave enough to understand this. Open your spiritual eyes. Ask me to show you who you can touch with my love today. And listen to this warning. Do not trade your soul for comfort. Yes, comfort has its place. I give rest to my children. I am their refuge. But there is a false comfort that numbs you, that traps you, and that puts out the flame of your spirit. That comfort which comes at the cost of your integrity, at the price of silencing what you know is true, of choosing peace on the outside while your soul stirs with unrest on the inside. This comfort is disguised poison. If you find yourself living with two faces, one that you show the world and another that you hide away, stop. Do not continue living this way. I do not want your outward appearance. I want your truth. Let your public life match the truth of your private life. If you've made small compromises, those things you thought didn't matter, go back and fix them. Character is built in the unseen moments, in the small decisions. Be faithful when no one is watching. Do what is right when it seems unimportant. Show kindness even if no one acknowledges it. Stand for the truth even if it leaves you alone. And now, I ask something more of you. Return to prayer, but not just to speak, also to listen. Be honest with me. Tell me how you really feel. Use your words, even if they're not perfect. I understand your sighs, your tears, and your silence. But after you speak, be still. Be quiet. Wait, because I want to speak to you as well, not just through messages like this, but within you, in the gentle whisper, in the living word, in the guidance that my Spirit gives when your soul is at peace. Do not rush through prayer. Do not treat it like a duty to be completed. Approach it as a sacred conversation. I hear you, and I respond, not always how you expect, but always with truth. And every time you pray, you are strengthening the most important relationship of your life, your relationship with me. This message doesn't end here. There's more I must tell you, but you are already starting to see that this is not an empty warning. It is a call to live fully, to wake up, to love deeply, to cleanse your soul, to prepare yourself. I have not finished speaking to you. You have kept going, and that matters in heaven. Some things must be said clearly, without distractions or empty words. Too much time has been spent hiding behind appearances, committing to what seems holy but has lost its fire. This is not the time to keep pretending or to hold on to things that are meant to fall. I speak because the moment calls for it. Many will not be ready, not because they were not warned, but because they ignored the voice that called out in the quiet of their days. Everything that seems solid in this world is beginning to shake. The systems that once seemed secure, the voices that claimed to know the truth, the governments that promised stability, the leaders who assured a better tomorrow one by one, they are being exposed. Nothing in this world is permanent. Nothing stands outside of me. Those who place their trust in what is visible, in what they can touch, will be like the one who built their house on sand, sure of it until the storm came. And then it was too late to rebuild. Do not place your hope in human systems, in your own plans, or in what the world calls success. Open your eyes. Everything is being shaken. If everything external falls apart, where will your foundation be? Preparation doesn't begin on the outside. It starts in the unseen, deep within, where only you and I know what is there. It's in that space where character is formed, where it is shown whether your faith is real or just a tradition. The times we are living in require deep roots. Superficial faith will no longer be enough. That's why I speak to you with urgency. I want you to look at your life with honesty. Examine your heart, not with fear, but with truth. Ask yourself if you are carrying burdens I did not give you. Things that make you smaller in spirit, that shrink you from the inside out, even if everything seems fine on the outside. Pride, jealousy, bitterness, a sense of self-importance, the desire to always be right rather than seek peace, these are weights, and you were not meant to carry them. Greed must also be removed. That quiet form of idolatry that hides behind goals, hard work, and ambition, but is really just a hunger to be seen, admired, and to gather more, as if more would make you full. Look at your possessions, not just the material ones, but your habits, your titles, your routines. Ask yourself, does this serve me or does it control me? Does it help me grow in truth, or does it only fill a space meant for something eternal? There is joy in letting go. There is freedom in releasing what isn't needed. It's not about emptying yourself for no reason, but about making room for what truly matters. Give. And when you give, do it quietly. Charity without fanfare is what touches my heart. I do not need others to witness your goodness. I see everything, and every hidden act of generosity rises before me like incense. Be honest with yourself. Do not hide behind sweet words or clever excuses. Call evil what it is, but do so without passing judgment. Truth spoken with compassion has power. Keeping it silent out of fear of losing approval only closes doors that I want to open. Your voice has a purpose, not to condemn, but to heal. Do not use it as a weapon to hurt others, nor as a shield to protect your mistakes. Use your voice as an instrument of peace, justice, and hope. There are people walking beside you every day, filled with fear and brokenness inside. Some have lost the strength to ask for help, and others have learned to live with their pain. Do not ignore their tears. Do not look away when suffering is nearby. Do not say, "It's not my problem." Everything you do for one of them, you do for me. Feed, listen, comfort, embrace, and intercede. You don't need a lot of resources, just a willing heart. It's the small gestures, the quiet acts, the moments of unexpected kindness that fill heaven with joy. Don't let the rush of the world make you forget what truly matters. The plans of man rarely align with mine. While everyone runs, I walk. While many celebrate speed, I value consistency. The hurting soul that finds comfort in your presence may be receiving the only act of love they get that day. Do not overlook these sacred moments. They are found in the everyday, in what seems insignificant. And remember this: integrity is non-negotiable. Do not sell your soul for comfort. The temptation to take the easy way will be strong. Shortcuts will appear, convenient excuses, words that sound good but destroy from within. But every comfort that demands you give up your truth is stealing from you. The cost may not be obvious right away, but over time, you will feel something important is lost. And when that happens, you will remember these words. Authenticity will not always be popular. Goodness will not always receive praise. Sometimes, choosing what is right will feel like you are walking alone, but it is on that path where you will truly find me. It is there that you will realize you are not alone, but supported. And every time you choose to honor me in private, even when it costs you, you are building a foundation that will not crumble when the storm arrives. Return to communion with me, not out of duty, but out of sincere desire. You do not need perfect words. Speak to me as though you are sitting with your closest friend, and then be silent. Allow my peace to speak to you. Let my spirit remind you of who you truly are. Prayer is not a ritual to complete. It is a place where you come home. And in that sacred space, I will heal what has been broken, refresh what has grown weary, and confirm what seemed uncertain. This is not just spiritual theory. It is real preparation. The day is near, though no one knows the exact time. Those who are awake, steady, and pure in their walk will be ready when the trumpet calls. But there is more you must understand. The soul that has learned to be still, away from the noise, begins to see with a clarity that cannot be found on wide paths. Everything that has passed through the fire of truth shines with a unique light. There is no confusion where constant communion with the eternal exists. I have been guiding your steps even when you thought you were walking alone. Not all pain was punishment, and not all loss was because I forgot you. Some things were taken away because they were holding you back from growing. Others simply no longer belong to the new season that is coming. I have closed doors that you begged to stay open, not out of cruelty, but out of care. How could you move forward if your soul was still tied to the past? I allowed silences to teach you to listen to what the world cannot say. I allowed emptiness to drive you to seek beyond yourself. Nothing has been random. Every season in your life had a purpose that you will fully understand in time. But now it is time to look ahead without carrying the weight of the past. There are choices you can no longer put off. The time you are in calls for clear, bold decisions. You cannot keep moving forward with a divided mind, torn between two thoughts, unsure of which way to go. Lukewarmness has no place in what I am doing. I am separating, purifying, lining, and revealing everything that has been hidden, because the hidden cannot stay without consequences. The truth, even if it stings at first, is healing. Do not be afraid to see it. Do not be afraid to face it. I have given you the grace to do what you need to do now. This is not a time to remain passive. Spiritual laziness is dangerous. Many have fallen, not because of major sins, but because of quiet neglect. They drifted away slowly, not noticing the moment when they stopped listening. They grew used to living without direction, to walking without presence. On the outside, everything seemed fine, but on the inside, they became dry and empty. Do not let that happen to you. I did not come to give you religious routines. I came to light a fire that burns away everything false. What you do in secret matters more than what you show in public. The struggles you face alone, the choices you make when no one is watching, the thoughts you hold when the world sleeps, those are what shape your soul. It is not about outward appearances, but inner honesty. What you are when no one expects anything from you, that is what you are truly building. Do not fall into self-pity. Do not believe the lie that you are too far gone to return, or that your mistakes have ruined your story. Every day offers a new door. Every moment can be a fresh start if your heart is open. I do not expect immediate perfection. I work with sincerity, and where there is sincerity, there is change. The wounds you allow, the areas you admit need help, the habits you face, these are the places where my work begins. Stop waiting for everything around you to change before you decide to move forward. Change does not depend on your surroundings. It depends on your willingness. True transformation begins when you realize that what you carry inside cannot stay as it is. A soul willing to be shaped does not need perfect conditions, just surrender. A surrendered heart is not weak, it is strong, because it has chosen to trust in what cannot be seen more than in what is obvious. Do not underestimate the impact you have. You are not here by accident. There are people along your path who have been entrusted to you. Not all of them will speak to you, and not all will understand you, but many are watching you and, even without knowing it, are being nourished by the fruit you bear. When you choose to live with integrity, when you do what is right even when no one is looking, you are planting seeds that others will eventually gather. Your life is a testimony. Even when you are silent, you are not asked to be perfect or without failure, but to be faithful and without pretending. Rise every time you fall, but don't get used to stumbling over the same thing. Recognize your patterns. See clearly the chains that continue to trap you. Some things won't change until you face them with real determination, without excuses, and without allowing them more time. What you allow in secret will eventually be seen in the open. There are no chains that cannot be broken, but they must be brought into the light in order to lose their power. I have reached out to you again and again, not to accuse, but to restore. I care about every part of you, even the parts you've tried to hide. There is no corner of your soul that is unknown to me. And instead of this being something to feel ashamed of, it should be your greatest assurance. If I know everything about you and still love you deeply, then there is no need for you to hide. I want you to walk without fear, but with wisdom. Don't confuse peace with being indifferent. True peace is not the same as passivity, but it is strength in the middle of chaos. It is being grounded while everything around you shakes. This kind of peace can only be carried by those who have been shaped in the quiet, who have allowed their souls to be refined in private. It is not formed in the crowds, but in the wilderness. Many of those I have called have been led through hard paths, not to punish them, but to prepare them. There is an urgency in the spirit, even though the body may not feel it. A moment is coming when the veil will be lifted, and everything that has been planted will begin to bear fruit, either for good or for judgment. You still have time, but not to hide. You have time to come forward with truth, not to impress but to surrender, not to keep repeating the same things, but to allow something entirely new to be born from within. If you are hearing these words, it is not by chance or out of curiosity. It is because I have chosen this moment to reach you with clarity, with purpose, and with direction. There is more for you to hear. There are still things that need to be broken before the truth can grow freely. Time has not run out, but it will not go backward. Listen closely to my voice, for this is not an ordinary message, nor something to take lightly. If you leave this message before it is finished, you will cry tomorrow. And I say this not to scare you, but to alert you with love, just like a father who sees the storm approaching while his daughter sleeps, unaware of what is coming. Tomorrow is not just another day. Do not think everything will always stay the same. You have heard many say that something is about to happen, that the rapture could be near, that the day of the Lord is drawing closer. While I do not reveal the exact time, because only my Father knows it, I do give you signs, warnings, calls, time, and mercy because I love you and do not want you to be lost in the distractions of the world. Listen with all your heart. I do not speak to you in anger or judgment, but from a place of endless patience that has waited for you day after day. I have seen your struggles, your downfalls, your hidden thoughts, and your tears that no one else saw. I do not speak to you to make you feel anxious, but to set you free. I am not the source of the fear that traps you. It does not come from me. I am your refuge, your solid rock, your salvation. The fear that comes from me is a holy fear, one that leads to wisdom, not despair. If something inside you trembles when you hear these words, do not run away. That trembling may be the start of your awakening. You have searched in many places for peace, for purpose, trying to fill the emptiness that nothing and no one has been able to fill. And here I am once again, knocking on your door. How many more times will you leave me waiting? How many more times will you silence my voice with distractions, excuses, or the rush of this world that pulls you away from the eternal? Today I speak to you because there is still time. Today I speak to you because my arms are still open to you. Today I speak to you because if you let this moment pass, if you treat this message as something unimportant, tomorrow you might look back with regret and ask, why didn't I listen when he called me? I am giving you this message not by chance, but because I have placed it before you myself. Do not think that you are here by mistake. It is not a simple coincidence. I have ordered your steps, guided your path, and opened this window of opportunity to reach you because I love you with an eternal love. I have plans for you. Your soul belongs to me, and I do not want it to be lost. Every word you receive now is like a seed that can grow if you keep it in your heart and let it grow through repentance, prayer, humility, and faith. But if you ignore this voice, if you treat it as something trivial, you risk hardening your heart again, and maybe tomorrow you won't feel the desire to return. I want you to understand that your enemy is active. He wants you distracted, busy, to put this message on pause, to ignore it, to say, I'll finish it later. But do not skip it. This is important for you. You don't know if this is your last warning, your final opportunity. The world tells you everything is fine, that there is no need to worry, that you still have time. But I, the one who searches hearts and knows the times, tell you, prepare yourself, wake up from your spiritual sleep, straighten your ways, and return to me while you can still find me. I do not want you to live in fear, but in truth. I do not want you to be filled with anxiety, but with hope. But you cannot have true hope without being prepared. You cannot wait in joy if your soul is asleep. That is why I speak to you today with clear words, with urgency, and with love that comes from the deepest part of my being, like a father who sees his daughter walking toward danger and shouts, not out of anger, but out of love. Don't you see that if I speak to you like this, it's because I care for you? If I keep insisting, it's because I want you to be free, to be clothed in light, without spot, and ready for the glorious meeting with your Lord.